men like women anymore. I don't think that men desire us women anymore, us real women. I don't think that they value us like they used to.
Guys, men going their own way is finally waking women up. Men walking away, but more so MGTOW, because women are beginning to wake up and realize the fish aren't biting anymore. Men have walked away, and a lot of these men are consciously choosing to completely disengage from society and relationships. 90% of men are no longer dating, no longer getting married, no longer having children. And from the remaining 10%, half of those men are sick and tired of the way that they are treated in the dating markets. Today's video comes from the How Money Works channel. Their channel will be linked in the description of the video so that you can go check them out and support their content. Watch to the end of the video to fully understand the implications of men going their own way and it finally waking women up and what that means for society. Don't forget to follow us over on Rumble. We are in, guys, we in the coming weeks we will no longer be releasing all of our content on the platform anymore. On this platform anymore. Certain videos will only exclusively be released on Rumble just because of the changing climate. So go and follow us over on Rumble because within the next month, all of our videos will be on Rumble, but not all of our videos will be on this platform anymore. So you'll still get your regular videos, but it won't be all of them because some things just will no longer be here. So go and follow us over on Rumble before that goes into effect. You have about a month to go and get it done. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video after a message from Angry's Crypto Academy, guys. So you know that hard times are here. You know that things are not looking good for the economy right now. ATMs are going to stop working. Banks are going to chain the doors. And the only way that you're going to be able to protect your wealth and safeguard your future is going to be with crypto. And Angry's Crypto Academy will teach you how to buy, sell, trade, and invest in crypto. And will tell you exactly which coins will mint you millionaires and how to spot potential coins to invest in. Plus, you can discover the dark horse crypto that virtually no one is talking about, which will mint you millionaires in the upcoming bull run. Click the link in the description of the video below to find out what this crypto is and to join the academy today. And now let's go ahead and jump right back into the video.
Men aren't really putting out effort. They're not putting out any type of effort like they used to. Taking a girl on a date becomes an issue. You know, spending money on a woman is an issue. You should have your own money as a woman. Going out to do something fun is an issue. Why don't you just come over to the house and we could do something in the house? I don't know. Maybe I could. It's because I'm from New York, but I see women all over the globe complain about what's happening with men nowadays. Is it women that's not making themselves desirable anymore? Because there are beautiful women out here, beautiful women, ambitious women, caring women, nurturing women who are outside looking for love, and men that just can't keep up with that. Like, they're not communicating with them. They're not willing to hang out and do fun things. What happens to the fun in life? What happened to life being exciting and fun and, you know, going out and discovering the world? What are y'all doing? What are y'all men doing other than that? What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Like, what are all y'all men doing? What are y'all doing? If it has nothing to do with a woman, what are y'all doing? Are y'all working? because we're working too. Women are also working, and we still can do things. We still can go on vacations. We can still go out to eat. Why are us women going on vacations with our friends? We're going on vacations with our friends. We're going out to eat with our friends. We're going to do fun things outside with our friends. We're celebrating birthdays with our friends. Where are you? Where are y'all? What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Where are you guys? Where are you? Where do you guys exist?
So, guys, women said they would rather the bear, and now they don't want to hang out in the woods. They don't want to hang out with Yogi Boo Boo, and get caught up with the ranger. They're like, "What are you guys doing, men? Where are you guys?" Guys, just have a look at the screen. So, if you notice right here, this is a screenshot from Monster Hunter Wilds. It's coming out on February 28, 2025. So it says the game plans to unlock in approximately 5 hours, which is pretty cool at the time of making this video for you. And I want you guys to look at this very carefully. So the pre-purchase Monster Hunter Wilds is $69.99. That's $70. Pre-purchase Monster Hunter Wilds Deluxe Edition is $89.99. Pre-purchase Monster Hunter Wilds Premium Deluxe Edition is $110. It's $109.99. So it's $110. That's the version of the game that I picked up. I have a PlayStation. I have a PlayStation. I have a PlayStation 5 Pro controller that I actually use with my Mac, and then I have a. I'm just and this is going somewhere. This is going somewhere. Just hear me out. Hear me out. I have a PlayStation 5 controller that I use with my Mac that used to play games on my Mac because I do game on the Mac sometimes. And then I have my gaming laptop, which one of you guys actually told me to go and get, and you were so right. It's amazing. I have a Strix with a 4070 GPU, 96 gigabytes of RAM, 4 terabyte, well, technically 5 terabytes of storage. It's a total total baddie gaming laptop. And I use a an Elite Pro. I use a Pro controller for that. I use the Xbox Core controller with that. So the one that works with Xbox Series S and Series X. I have one of those controllers, and I use that. On to game on my laptop, on my gaming laptop. But and then I also on top of that have a Pro controller from Xbox. I don't know if it's called the Elite, or it's basically the Pro version of the Core controller. And I have that. I haven't opened it. You can change out like the button plates and all kinds of stuff. But I haven't opened that. I purchased it last year, like maybe around Black Friday. Well, I realized recently that I like my PlayStation 5 controller more than the Xbox One S controller. So what I did was, because Monster Hunter Wilds is coming out, and I wanted to play with I wanted to play with the PlayStation controller, PlayStation 5 controller instead of the Xbox, but I don't want to have to, but I don't want to have to constantly pair them back and forth. I just picked up a new controller for like $80, a new PlayStation 5 controller, and I was able to DoorDash that to myself. So I DoorDashed a PlayStation 5 controller using DoorDash. It was it was cheap. It was $80 for the controller. I paid the taxes, which were like $7-8, and then for delivery, it ended up working out to really around $6. Around $6 for delivery, and I paid the extra like $2 or so for speedy delivery, quick delivery. I got it within about an hour. Yeah, if I wanted to DoorDash a PlayStation 5, I could DoorDash a PlayStation 5. And I literally DoorDashed a PlayStation 5 controller. Got it within about an hour. So women are asking, where are men? What are men doing? The money that we would spend taking women out on dates, the money that we would spend investing into relationships, we're not doing that anymore. We're picking up Monster Hunter Wild Premium Deluxe Edition. We're buying video game equipment that costs premium and door dashing it across town. Okay? We are eating steak, potatoes, and all the good stuff. We are living good. Instead of focusing on women and relationships, we're focusing on God and money. All right. In my case, God and crypto. That's that's really how it is. And I'm getting my relationship, my focus is my relationship with God, my crypto, of course, my money. Because for me, crypto is money, right? So it's basically God and money, God and money. I don't really care about anything else. I don't really care about relationships, none of that. Because no man has ever lost, no man has ever lost women chasing money, but many men have lost money chasing women. So these women are like, where are you guys? We're playing video games. We're eating well. We're spending time building our business, getting our money. That's what we're doing. We're not focused on relationships anymore. We're not focused on dating anymore. Those days are over. Men have walked away. Guys, women basically jumped the shark in the relationship. And trust me, some women are beginning to become resentful now over this. They're realizing exactly what other women have done. And now they're beginning to call out other women and saying, "Oh, you're literally out here saying, where have all the men gone?" And the answer is quite simple. You chased them away. You chased the men away. Men are now done. Men are no longer have a desire to be in a relationship because they get it now.
Girlies in their late 20s, early 30s. Where are we finding men?
Unfortunately, they are working overtime instead of going out and dating because they feel they will never be attractive enough or wealthy enough for a girl ever again. They would rather check their weather app than chat with another person on Hinge. If they're not at work, they're usually at home, the gym, playing video games with friends, or fighting for democracy. You're welcome.
There you go. There you go. All right. Some women are now bitter because they knew exactly what was going on. And here's the thing, when they tell other women, this is what's happening, you've chased all of the men out of society, they continue making videos like this. No, that's not it. It goes in one ear and comes out the other. Modern women don't seem to realize that there's no coming back. They've chased their men away. They've chased their men away. Okay. This is why you have a multitude of women crying on social media now that they've been getting laid off from their jobs. Most of the videos on social media of people getting laid off, they're women. Like, it feels like it's 99% of them. I know that there are videos of men, but it feels like it's 99% of women right now who are making videos on social media saying that they got laid off from their jobs. Many of these women who invested like almost a decade or more in these companies are gone. Just like that. They have no children. They have no husband. They have no children. Many of them don't even have a boyfriend because they're in situationships. So they have many boyfriends in that respect, but I don't know if you can call those guys even boyfriends, basically men that they're talking to. Different guys serve different purposes. But how many of those guys are going to actually want to commit to a relationship? And how many of those guys do you want to commit to a relationship with? Because many of these women don't even want to marry most of the men that they have on the side, that they're using for different things, for that, to buy them free food and dinner and so forth. They don't even want to marry these men. And they have extremely high standards still. But how many of these men actually even want to marry them? Because a lot of these guys a lot of the simps are getting something out of it as well. They're opportunists. So they're getting access to their attention. There's a lot of men who are more than happy to pay for the attention of a woman. That's why platforms like OnlyFools and LonelyFans are so valuable, because these men are willing to pay for a woman's attention, but they don't want to put a ring on it. They want to keep her at a distance. They want to continue engaging in this type of fantasy. They don't want to deal with her when she's going through hard times, when she's sick, when she doesn't feel well, when something is wrong in her life. They don't want any of that. They are paying for a fantasy. Modern women on these platforms don't realize those men don't actually like you. They don't care about you. They're taking advantage of the situation. You think that you're the one winning. They're the ones, a lot of these men who are just paying for a fantasy. You're giving them a fantasy. All right? You're giving them a fantasy. Some of these men even have girlfriends. Some of these men even have wives. And some of these women who find out later on that, these men are out there spending like all of the family's money. Like they have wives and they just max out their credit cards. See, that's another bad thing about with marriage right now. There are some men who are in these marriages and they don't want to be married. So what are they doing? They quit their jobs or they deliberately get fired. This is the genius of these dudes. They quit their jobs, they deliberately get fired, they refuse to work. They refuse to work. They become house husbands. They sit around the house playing video games all day long and living off their wife's income. They don't care about physical intimacy because it doesn't matter to them. In fact, they'll even take the money that she's making and then use that money to go out with their side chick or an ESCORT. These men are hacking the system. So now their wives are screwed because if the wife tries to divorce them, she's the higher earning person in the relationship. And in many cases, she's been the highest earning person in the relationship for years. Do you see what these guys are doing, guys? We're going to continue discussing this. But again, guys, don't forget to check out Angry's Crypto Academy because hard times are here. You're seeing what's happening with modern women right now. The ATMs are going to stop working. Banks are going to chain the doors. And for you to protect yourself and your wealth and safeguard your future, you can do that with crypto. Angry's Crypto Academy will teach you how to buy, sell, trade, and invest in crypto, and we'll tell you exactly which coins will mint you millionaires and how to spot potential coins to invest in. Don't miss out. The Academy is linked in the description of the video. But like I was saying, guys, these men are hacking the system because they're in relationships with people they don't want to be in a relationship. For example, you're in a relationship with a woman who's denying you physical intimacy. You're in a relationship with a woman who's not making you happy and you're stuck. So what do? They buy some crypto, put money aside. So they basically funnel money away secretly into something like crypto, something that into assets and accounts where their wife would not know about, and she'll likely never find out about it. All right, maybe a couple $1,000, maybe tens of thousands of dollars. They quit their jobs. They stay home while they're playing video games and chilling at home and telling their wives, yeah, I'm going to go look for a job. Or some of these men are just telling their wives just right out that they refuse to look for work. The wife now has to pay all of the bills in the house. She has to buy food for them. If they have a joint checking account, she's screwed because they'll just go into the joint checking account and take money from the joint checking account and buy the things that they want. And because they're married, she can end up being liable for their expenses, something that they taught us in business school. If your wife has a business and something goes wrong in her business and she owes debt for her business, her husband can now be liable. That same principle applies with a woman. If your husband goes into debt, you can now be liable for his debts. This is what these men are. It's crazy. It's crazy. So they're staying at home. They're playing video games. They're living their best lives, and they're basically forcing women to pick up the bill, the way women have forced men to pick up the bill. Okay. And again, if these women divorce them, what they're going to do is the court is going to look at who is the highest income earner. Oh, it was the woman. How long has the man been out of work? He's been out of work for 3 years. Well, he wants spousal support because the woman is the one who's making all of the money while the man is the one staying at home. And so basically his skills have now gone out. His skills are now rusty. If a woman goes and sees a divorce attorney and she tells the divorce attorney that she wants to divorce this guy because, he's not working, he's not pulling his weight, the divorce attorney is going to say to her, okay, but be careful because you could end up owing him alimony. You could end up owing him alimony, and half of all of your assets. So he can basically take half of the money in your bank account. He could take you. You'll have to pay spousal support. We're in a very, very bad economy right now. So because he's been out of work for a number of years and it's extremely difficult to find work, the court is more than likely to continue awarding him spousal support for not just the number of years that he's been out of work for, but for potentially longer than that. Oh my gosh. So now you'll have these men who will then end up like because again, the average man doesn't need much to survive. The average man can live happily in a shoebox at the side of the road. The average woman cannot. So these men will then just turn around and they'll go live in a shoebox. They'll go live in a shoebox. That's assuming they don't end up getting something like the house. Like for example, the woman may discover that it's too expensive to keep the house, especially if it's not paid off yet. So the guy won't even buy her out of the house. He won't even buy her out of the house. It'll literally just be, well, either we're going to sell the house and if we can get some equity out of it, cool. But if there's no equity, well then it's going to be or it's not enough. A lot of this, she may just end up deciding that it's the best thing to do is cut her losses based on the attorney and just give him the damn house entirely. All right, it's crazy. It's crazy. Women thought that they knew more than we do. They thought that they were slick, that because they think they say things like, well, we're able to CHEAT better than men. We're able to do these things better than men. They don't realize that men can do these things too, and men can do them better. The reason why women think that they are better at these things than men is because men are usually focused on working. They're focused on having jobs and so forth. Women multitask more than men, although that doesn't necessarily mean that they multitask better than men. While men like to focus on one specific thing at a time, although we can still multitask. The thing is that if a man is not working, if his attention is not focused upon trying to provide for a woman, to provide for his family, provide for his kids, well, he has all the time in the world to be focused on how I can get out of a marriage that I don't want to be in, or how I can live my best life and live comfortably, if I'm in a relationship with someone who I'm not happy with. So now I'm just going to basically spend all of their money, eat all of their food, play video games and really, really enjoy myself. And, if anything, and, this is what another thing that a lot of dudes will do. This is what men are getting. They already have these devices, these body cams that are similar to what cops wear. They're very small and they record directly to your phone. I told you these devices were coming, and we're going to end up in a society very soon where everyone's going to be walking around wearing a body cam there. And this is exactly how I thought they were going to work. They're basically just clip onto your clothing and you can basically start recording your interactions with anyone. And it basically is just recording it straight to your phone. Okay. So if you have, if you have like a 128 gigabytes of space on your phone, that's plenty of space to record your entire interaction, most of your day. All right. You're not going to use all of that, but I'm just giving you that example. What men are doing is they're setting up things like they're setting up these devices like very similar to like the Ring doorbells. They're setting up the cameras. They're setting up these cameras inside of their homes, in the living rooms, in the kitchens, in these public spaces within the homes. And their interactions with their wives are also being caught on camera. This is the same thing women have been doing to men, where they set up these cameras and then they use the recordings when they get into interactions with these women. And women have been setting up these cameras in their homes, and when they get into interactions with these men, they basically will record the footage, and then they can doctor, and sometimes they can doctor the footage to make it look like the man was wrong in the situation, and they can use that in court. Blah blah blah. Men can do the same exact thing, and they can set up these cameras, and they can basically, whenever they get into an argument with the wife and she starts, remember, women are more likely to be more aggressive in an argument. They're more likely to be more confrontational, and they're more likely to be more aggressive statistically. So the man will just will just allow the woman to come in constantly and say certain things to him and say whatever she wants. And guess what? He will record all of that footage and have it stored away so that he can use it in a court of law to say that this is what he was going through in the marriage. And then he's going to sue for, things like pain and suffering, and emotional, problems that he experienced. I have to be very careful with my wording, but he's going to use all of that because when a man is not working, he has plenty of time to plot his next moves. Women don't know the beast that they unleashed. They have no idea. And of course, the idea men can live independently of women, but women cannot live independently of men. They're the majority of people losing their jobs right now. And that's why you have so many of them that are on social media crying about their job losses. And it's absolutely substantial. It's absolutely substantial. And it's because of the choices that they made, but they never thought that there would be consequences for those choices. And again, I'm not knocking anyone. I'm not saying that women don't have the right to make every choice that they want to and live the lives that they want to. I believe that women should absolutely live however they choose to, but there are consequences for the decisions that we make. They chose to go down the path of being independent, of saying they did not need relationships. They could do everything on their own, but now they're discovering that they are not designed to live without a man. And a lot of men, as times get harder in society, single men are going to increasingly become wealthy doing things like day trading crypto, investing in crypto. Crypto is going to make new millionaires. It's going to be the largest transfer of wealth in the history of the world. Let me ask you something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy, to teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom. It's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional, it's critical. The link's in the description. Go check it out now. Guys, there's a song that I really like. How does it go? It goes, my money don't jiggle jiggle. It folds. I'd like to see you wiggle wiggle for sure. It makes me want to dribble dribble. Riding in my Fiat, you really have to see it. 6'2" in a compact, no slack, but luckily the seats go back. I've got a knack to relax in my mind, sipping some red wine. Shepherd's Bush, my compact push, nothing Hill Gate, my Fiat skates with a crate of cabaret, but nothing today because I gotta drive. I want to stay alive. My money don't jiggle jiggle. It folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle for sure. It makes me want to dribble dribble. You know, riding in my Fiat, you really gotta see it. Guys, I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all. When you are single, when you are a single man, your money doesn't your money doesn't wiggle wiggle. It folds. There was a I posted this as a poll. I believe it was a poll, I think, in the in over in the post section on the channel. And I said, when you're a single man, your money doesn't jiggle jiggle, it folds. Some dude popped up in the comments and said, "No, Angry, my money can't fold anymore because it stacks so high." Woo! Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Guys, let me tell you, since I stopped focusing on relationships, since I've been just single, straight up single, I have so much money between crypto and cash. I've got tons of money in the bank. I've got tons of money at home. I've got tons of crypto. Most of my assets are in crypto. I have a video game collection that's continually growing right now. I told you, I have over 800 games on Steam. All right. It just keeps on going up. It literally just keeps on going up. I've got my massive collection of Steam games. Many of them are straight out triple A titles. Okay. I can buy whatever games I want. I mean, right now it's actually up to 854 games because I buy a lot of games. That's 854 games. I mean, last year I spent, I think on games, I spent just under $10,000. I think. I know you're like, are you insane, Angry? Hear me out. Hear me out. Basically, because of the kind of content, the work that I do, I'm actually able to, deal with that. I'm able to absorb a lot of that. But I'm just kind of pointing this out to you that, you know, as a, because of my choice to avoid relationships, I have this ability where I'm able to go and get these things. I'm able to do these things. I'm able to live this life. I started my Nintendo Switch game collection back in when was it? Back in November of 2024, right around Black Friday. So it was right around the same time when I picked up my gaming laptop, started my started my Nintendo Switch collection because I realized that we don't physically own anything. So I started buying Nintendo Switch games. I usually buy the physical as well as the digital copies of the games. And I have over 60 Nintendo Switch games, all brand new right now in the wrapper. Okay? Technically, and then if you count the ones that are not brand new, or like, like there were some that came defective, like the wrapper was open, so I had to replace them because I like to have brand new games unopened. If you count those, then it's probably closer to 70, but I don't count those. So it's over 60, all different games, brand new, sealed. I have about 62 of those right now. On GOG, GOG allows you to own your games, good old games. I have over 300 games there. I'm still buying games from time to time, just so if Steam ever goes down, I can still have access to my games on GOG. I have more games than I'll ever play. So this is how life is for a lot of men. We're stacking cash. We're stacking assets. We're stacking all of these different things. A lot of men are going to start, especially with what's going on with Trump. Like, for example, in Ohio, Vivek Ramaswamy, he's been talking about eliminating property taxes in his state. And it's possible that other states may start to follow suit as well. So he's running for governor. And one of the things he wants to do is eliminate property taxes as well as the income tax. And It would not surprise me if other states begin doing this as well. If there is no property tax and there is no income tax, do you guys comprehend that it's a free for all for men? Men will basically go wild. Men will buy land, put these modular homes on them, because first we started with tiny homes, but they were really small modular homes that can fit on that basically can be shipped for very low cost. But now, these modular homes, you can basically fit them together, you can stack them, you can do a lot of different things, and they only cost a fraction of a traditional home. But some of them are just as spacey as these traditional homes, and they're well built. And here's the honest to goodness truth: the baby boomers are like, this is garbage, man. You need to buy a real house, man. That's not a real house. If I can spend, let's say you spend 100, many of these modular homes you can get for anywhere between like $20,000 and $50,000 for like tiny homes. But let's say you spend $100,000 and you get something pretty big. You can get something pretty big for about $100,000. Even 100, you don't need to go 150. But I'm just giving you an example. So let's say you get get one of these modular homes for $100,000, $100K, right? And it's roughly the size of a typical single family home. It has like maybe 2 or 3 bedrooms, full bath, all of the full living room, all of the luxuries. And you put part of it on, let's say you pay like out of pocket, maybe $25K for part of it. And, then you finance the rest of it, $75,000. Here's the thing. For a lot of men, that's extremely affordable. Because if you were going to be spending something like $2,500 a month in rent anyway, that's $30,000 a year. That's $90,000 over the course of 3 years. Do you see that math? So a lot of men will pay that house. They will pay that off within a couple of years. They will completely pay that property off within a couple of years, and maybe the provider of the loan, maybe they make like $10,000 or $15,000 off that, if not less. But they're going to get their money back within like 3 or 4 years. So they're happy. They'll be very, very pleased to make $10,000 to $15,000 loaning $75,000. If even, like I said, they may not even get that back. They may not even make 10 or 15. But they'd be more than happy to get $10,000 or $15,000 on a $75,000 loan if it's going to be repaid within like a 3 to 4 year period. So men are going to go. They're going to get these modular homes, and they're going to pay it off, put them on a piece of land, and hopefully in a state, preferably in a place that has no property tax. No property tax, no income tax, because that's really where things are headed. And they're going to basically be living rent-free, and they may, like, for example, if they can, some of these guys may even like have make it kind of like a little ranch, maybe raise some animals, have access to fresh eggs, so they have chickens on their land, and they can raise the chickens themselves, have eggs because eggs are expensive. Because these men have tons of free time. Some of these guys might get into hunting, so they might start hunting for different things. So that reduces their cost. And you set up a freezer. It doesn't even have to be inside the house. It could be outside of the house. You grab a shed, insulate it, build your own freezer, and you just basically store tons and tons of meat in there. Or you can buy it cheap from a butcher or from hunters who are selling it. Still is going to be way more affordable. And you store tons of meat. You have tons of meat. You will never go hungry. You have rabbit, you have deer, you have buffalo. Buffalo is very much like beef. It's very healthy meat. Okay? So you have tons of meat, enough meat to take care of you in some cases for what, 3 months, 6 months. You know, I don't know the longest that you can store meat, but you can store stuff for pretty long, maybe even a year if it's like if it's really really well frozen. So you have meat stored. You have solar panels all over the place, so you're getting solar electricity to your home and your shed, and basically, if you something goes wrong, you can just switch over to, to the power that's available. Switch over to the power that's available in the county wherever you live, and you only use their electricity when you need it. So you have their electricity as a backup if your solar stops working, if there's like a storm or something. And you have a generator, and then on top of that you also have a generator, so the solar electricity is storing electricity into your generator, so you basically have a full setup, and now you have no more bills. You're not paying property taxes, right? Or let's say it's an estate that still has property taxes, but they're low property taxes. So maybe you only end up spending something like $500 or $1,000 a year, which again is going to be nothing for a lot of guys. So it's next to just, you basically don't even consider that, right? If your property taxes are going to run for like $12,000 over the course of 10 years, most men just don't care. So you have your home, you have your land, you have your electricity, you have your home, you have your land, you have your electricity. So, you have your house fully paid for, or you're making payments on, you'll have it paid off in no time. You have solar electricity, it's full electricity set up. You have food, so much food that you no longer need to buy food on a daily basis, because most men are happy just eating meat and potatoes, or just meat. Like me, I do carnivore, and I do try to get like a little fiber into my diet. Things like cabbage, spinach, stuff like that, broccoli. But aside from that, it's mostly meat, mostly meat. And that's how most men are, and they're happy that way. So a man will have his home. Some guys won't even go with the large home. They'll spend, you can get a nice modular house, a nice tiny home for like $20,000 to $30,000. So some guys will just go with that, which is just basically something just large enough for the man. Has the bathroom in there and everything they need in there. And they'll just pay that off within one go or within a year. $30,000. They'll pay it off in a year, right? Because they don't have to pay rent. Or they have money saved, so they'll pay it off in one go. And no rent, no real electric bill, no real expenses, nothing. And they can basically they can spend $1,000 a month on video games if they want to. A lot of men, however, they won't, because some guys are getting like a PlayStation 3 and loading all of their games onto it, or a PlayStation 2, loading all of their games onto it, download a bunch of games, load it on there. So they have a massive collection of games that they don't even have to pay for, and those are the games that they enjoy. Or some dudes are fine with Super NES. Some dudes are get a small gaming PC, mini gaming PC. These things are pretty darn cheap. I think there's some as cheap as a couple $100, and you can play games all the way up to like the PlayStation 2, maybe even PlayStation 3 era, and all on this device. You can connect it to maybe your television, have an HDMI out, connect it to your television, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 controller, Xbox, whatever controller you like. Open up Steam Big Picture mode, play your game or whatever, and you don't care anymore. And you disengage from society. And you have crypto investments, and as you're just chilling, your money just increases. Your money is growing because of crypto. You maybe spend an hour a day doing some day trading, maybe only 1 or 2 hours a week. It doesn't matter. All of the money that you're bringing in, you're just going to turn around and reinvest a lot of it back into crypto and investing. I know some of these guys who say that all they do is basically put their money into crypto and stocks, and they do not care if it goes down to zero, because they have no other expenses, because their house is paid for, or their condo is paid for, or whatever, apartment's paid for, right? And they have no expenses. They have next to no, very little expenses. So they don't care if any money that they make at this point goes down to zero, and they're just basically almost gambling it away. But the thing is that they're in such a great position that they don't need to take that money out. That money will just continue to grow. So they won't be panic selling. If the markets crash, they're just going to buy more. So when everyone is selling, they're buying. And when the markets recover, what they had and what they are going to buy at fire sale prices is going to skyrocket. And a lot of these men are going to become millionaires. It's not the same for women. Women need a variety of different things to be happy. They always need more. Okay. And as a result of that, because of struggling with things like money management and everything, and job layoffs, all the layoffs that they're going through, they're not going to know what to do. There are so many women who still think that the government is going to bail them out, or that men are going to bail them out, but it's just not happening this time. It isn't.
Well, second time in a year, almost a year to the day, I got laid off again. Twice in a year. And what the fuck? What is anyone supposed to do? And they said, because of the economy is crap right now. So, we're gonna lay off a whole bunch of people again. And I already was struggling so hard, actually low-key, to even keep the current roof over my head. And now I have no idea how I'm even going to get through the next few hours. I just don't understand. But yeah, the economy is shit. America is shit right now. I feel like there's a really big plan for them to, tank this.
Guys, the economy is crap. I don't even know how I'm going to get through the next couple of hours. Did you hear what she just said? I don't know how I'm even going to get through the next couple of hours. That's the condition. That is the state that modern women are in right now. And y'all seem to think that things are going to be okay. That's why I said men going their own way is finally waking women up. They chose the bear, but now they don't want to live in the woods with Yogi and Boo Boo. Let me know what you guys think about everything we discussed, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, Men Walking Away. And cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.